And in this case, please welcome Marcelle Hansch.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thanks also for Gesine for all the great passion she always is sharing. Can you see my screen? I hope so. Perfect. Yeah, I want to tell you a little bit about Everwave and what we are doing. Our slogan is "Be part of the wave," because as Gesine just said, if we all work together, we can reach a lot. And yeah, this is what we want to do. And our vision is a responsible society for healthy oceans, because just when we change ourselves as a society, we finally can save our oceans, because we need to work together. And our mission is really to take hands-on, and we clean rivers with our technologies. And we have, as Annika just said, 2 pillars, which are called innovation and inspiration. And yeah, I tell you a little bit more about that, because what we are working on the one hand is innovation. This is our technological part. We have technologies which we are implementing into rivers to clean up really a big mass of waste. It's not just plastic, but it's also cans and stuff. So, but it's a real big thing. And we started a couple of years ago with a vision for the ocean gyres. Our old name was Pacific Garbage Screening, because we wanted to clean up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. But within the last years, we realized if we really want to make an impact, it doesn't make sense to start at the end. Because if we have a water problem, we are closing the tap and not cleaning the floor. So if we want to close the tap, we need to go to the rivers, because a lot of plastic and waste is entering the ocean through rivers. So we can make a really huge and bigger impact if we start there and not just in the end, because the way that the plastic is going along in the oceans is actually too long, because it harms ocean life. And the earlier we can catch the plastic, the better it is. And our second pillar is the inspiration and the people, because we are the consumers. We are the ones using plastic. We are the ones producing plastic. So just if people can change, finally we can make a really big impact for the oceans. And we call it inspiration, because for us, it doesn't make any sense to point with a finger on people and say, hey, it's your fault. But it's really important to motivate people, to inspire people, and to say and show what everybody can do. And with our innovation, probably you just saw a picture in the video of the beginning, is our Collectix boat. This is a photo from Bosnia-Herzegovina. And as you can see, there's also a Rotary logo inside, because we are supported very much by the Aachener Rotary Club, which is our home base, so to say. And this boat is really, really effective. As you can see, here it looks like a little toy, but it's collecting up to 20 tons a day. And this is really important, because for us, it makes a really big impact if we start into rivers, lakes, close to the coastlines, because all this, what we can get out of the water before it's entering the oceans, it's not entering the oceans. And for us, this is really important. We have 2 parts. One is like the business part, because we need to scale up. And the other one is the nonprofit, which is still our heart. And with I call it business part, we are working with plastic credits, which is a system where we can earn money with companies. So we are compensating plastic for companies. So a lot of companies are coming to us. They want to reduce plastic within their production, but there is a lot of parts where it's not even possible. For example, for the food industry, there is not another material which can adapt the long-term, that the food is going to be good for a long time. So they need to use plastic, and they don't want it. So as long as they don't have an alternative, they can come to us and say, hey, the plastic we are still using, we would like to compensate, which means for €1, we are compensating 1 kilo plastic and waste out of the rivers and oceans. And this is a real big thing, because in the last couple of months, we could, it was like more than 150,000 kilos, which we could get out of the rivers. And for us, it's a real big thing to scale up this whole project. And another thing which is really important for us with the technology is the part of AI, which means artificial intelligence. So we have drones and camera systems and sensors, so we can detect the waste. And this is really important for us to know more about the waste, because we don't know sometimes where it's coming from, what type of plastic is it, what kind of plastic it is, how is it always degraded into smaller pieces. So which means that it's not as good for recycling. So for us, it's really important to know a lot of data about waste, so we can go further steps for the recycling. Because this is for us a really important point, to get the plastic back into the cycling system, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense, because it's a really important resource. And for us, it's not waste actually, but it is a really important resource. It's unfortunately, is it not possible in our parts, because we don't have recycling systems all over the world. And for us, it doesn't make sense to transport the plastic or the waste all over the world. So we need to find regional solutions. And sometimes the best way is to burn it, because there is no system right now. So what we want to do is to implement also recycling systems and to change the system, and also to get the people, the regional people, to work. So we are not send our people on site, but we're working a lot with local peoples, also to get an acceptance for what we are doing. Because if we go there, clean up and go away, they would say, hey, what are you doing? But if we get them into new jobs and into a new system, we really can raise awareness for the problem. And this is for us really, really important. And this is also our second, and this is also my passion point. It's inspiration, because we really want to inspire people, and we are talking to a lot of people. Probably, Gesine, you remember this. This was in 2019. So we're talking, of course, to the parliament, to politics, because these are stakeholders who have a big implementation on ocean decisions, which is really important, and we would like to support over there, and to talk with as much stakeholders as possible. And of course, we also make our own contribution to the SDGs. Of course, it's education. I'll tell you a little bit more afterwards, but also industry infrastructure, responsible consumption, which is really, really important. Climate action, because plastic inside the environment is harming our climate, of course. Then life below water. This is where I'm also an ambassador for, because this is the ocean SDG, the most important one. And for us, really, really important is also partnerships, because we cannot do it alone. So we need to work together. We need to build a great network and start or go on working together to reach these goals. And I said I'm an ambassador for the goal number 14. This, for example, was in New York. It's a picture from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They invited 100 young people, young goalkeepers, to New York to a big conference. And I'm one of these 100 goalkeepers. It was really cool to see how many young people all over the world have projects who are dedicated to the SDGs, working on really cool and inspiring projects. And we are still in touch, but at the Corona pandemic, you can imagine there was not another conference in person right now, but hopefully next year we will meet again and go on with our calls about our projects. And of course, we are not just talking to the big ones, but also to the small ones. And this for us is really, really hard project, because a lot of teachers and students came to us and say, hey, we would like to talk about all these topics in school. But even in the German school system, we don't have enough material which is really dedicated to the oceans, to all these problems. So what we did, we developed educational material to kits. We call it the EMERGENSEA kits. And one is in Germany for the primary school, the other one for older pupils. And there are, it looks like this. There are a lot of experiments inside, different modules, a lot of different type of games, little games, and things they can touch, they can feel, and a lot of different modules with different boxes inside. So it's not about our project, it's about microplastics, plastics, it's about sustainability, it's about resources, it's about the recycling system, about rivers and oceans, and how all these systems working together. And we have a lot of little, in Germany we say Maskottchen, like little icons, which are from the ocean. For example, on the right you can see this little kraken called Tessa Tinte, and she's leading through all these material and telling a lot of stories. It's a lot with little comics and little games and little discussions between all the sea creatures. And for the people, and Gesine said it in the beginning, if you love something, you won't destroy it and you will protect it. And this is what we want to show with the material to the pupils, that they start loving the ocean. Because even in Germany, a lot of pupils have never been to the sea. So if they get to know it and to know what's inside and how important the oceans are, they will start to save, to protect the oceans even when they grow up. And kids are a big multipliers. And we saw it before, what kids can start when they really want to change something, which is a really great example for the power of kids. So what we want to do is to empower kids and to go on with our material. And together with the EndPlasticSoup, we started a smaller version of the kits, which we call the sea bag. And there are just a couple of modules inside, just a couple of experiments. It's not as big, but it's smaller and it's easier to implement for everyone, even for normal people, just to get one of these bags. You can get just a single bag, but you can also get the bag for smaller people or older ones. And for now, we just have the material in Germany, but in German. But we really would like to translate it. At the moment, we don't have the capacities because it's our non-profit part. So if anybody wants to help us with the translation, very welcome. Because what we want to do is really to share this material, even this special Rotary material, because it's really important for sharing the awareness, for make a big implementation in schools and in families, and that's all over the world, all over Europe, to make a change and to help kids learn more about the ocean and how important they are. And as we call it, be part of the wave, because any one of us can make a change and every one of us can really do something, and even little things are really important for our oceans. So I would be happy if everyone start today with thinking about their consumption and making their own impact for the oceans. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Marcella, for this great talk. And I'm always like in action when I see this, and I think that other people feel the same. And I like the focus on the future generations, as you said. That's really nice.